What's going on, Bengals fans, and happy holidays, guys? Had a huge win last week, and we also had a big win last night. And I also have the very first gift of Christmas right here. We're going to open it live. You guys ready for this?
The
What?
first present of Christmas right now.
First off, wrapping paper by Dalton. If you guys can get this stuff, it's on Etsy, so highly recommend.
That's
let's
so
let's go ahead and
funny.
open up this first gift of Christmas.
Fire.
Oh, would you look at that? They said it wouldn't happen. Bengals back in the playoffs. Merry Christmas all.
I love it.
Merry Clinchmas, everybody.
Merry Clinchmas. Oh, how fun was that? I never thought I'd be a Jags fan in the way I was last night.
Let's do this, guys.
We definitely have some of the greatest fans, and it doesn't go unrecognized.
But first I tell them run it out of terror through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex.
Can you guys hear me now?
There it is.
Yes!
Hey, there we go.
We did it! My mom, by the way.
Oh, hi, Mom.
I lost my mind. I'm like, yeah, baby, let's go, let's go.
I like this. I like it. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, man, things got weird already.
Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Nigeria,
I
come
don't want
through
to give
in a
up
hurry.
everything, but
Those
everybody
London boys don't come
Do
to
it.
play, you should get
Do
worried.
it.
No, the team.
Smooth, find yourself, they getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain.
I've heard of a
I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name.
Hey, everybody.
That song always amps me up on a Sunday morning, and like at 8:04 on a Friday night in a blizzard, I'm like, I don't know what to do with this energy right now.
It's different, right? We're all super awake.
Use it to stay warm.
Oh,
Hi,
So-
Dalton. Dalton's here. We got Stranger 420. Who day? Who day to you too, Haas?
hey.
Greg Luther coming in clutch with the Merry Clinchmas. Thank
I
you.
love it.
Let's go. I want to go ahead and get our guest in like right away, if that's okay with you guys, just because I'm super excited to
Bring 'em
introduce
on.
to Bengals Nation for everybody that's not following him already. Mike Camerlingo puts out some of the coolest videos. We're going to show you one in a little bit. But his video breakdowns of everything from sports like NFL plays to AC Slater and Zach Morris's fight on Saved by the Bell. Like, I mean, it's just gold. So everybody help us welcome Mike Camerlingo to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. That intro, yeah, I'm with you, Bridget. That song, I'm like ready to do six to 8 push-ups right now. That's awesome. So thanks for having me, guys.
Wait.
I know. Wait, I don't think I can do that many, but
At least like one solid 30-second wall sit.
yeah, exactly.
Right. So how's it going, Mike? Are you ready for this game? Let's talk about
Yeah,
it.
it's good. Like, Whitney asked me if I wanted to come on, and you gave me a couple of the games to choose from, and I go, oh, by the way, I'm a Patriots fan, so do you want to do this one? And you're like, yeah. And then that was towards the beginning of the season. I didn't know they were going to be coming off a loss where they lateraled it to the other team, and you guys look great. So, I'm hanging in there.
Our thoughts and prayers to you on that Mac Jones stiff arm.
I that was one where I was just so confused. I was just like, what? Like, I couldn't. It was just, the whole thing was so stupid. Like, just take a knee, go to overtime. What are you running a draw for? Anyway.
I mean,
We've
it
been there.
defies all logic.
Yeah, it doesn't. Obviously you shouldn't lateral the ball. obviously. But the whole play call, like either take a shot at the end zone or just take a knee. Why are you're not going to run 60 yards down the field. So,
Maybe did someone spike the Gatorade?
yeah, maybe, sometimes you get an idea and you go, maybe this could work.
It felt like a very drunk moment.
Was the
Felt
game
stupid.
in Foxborough?
It was in Vegas. Yeah.
That sounds like
true.
a
People were-
Vegas activity.
Maybe
Pour a
they
little
wanted-
tequila in it.
Maybe they didn't
Maybe
want to
Bill-
play overtime. They wanted to get to.
Belichick just wanted to hit a craps table.
Yeah, exactly.
He's sitting there. Listen, guys, anything but overtime. Just make sure that happens.
Right. So Greg already has a question for you, Mike. Do you see any comparisons with Brady and Burrow?
Hey, I love Joe Burrow. I was rooting for you guys in the Super Bowl last year. So, Joe Burrow's great. I hope he wins a couple Super Bowls. How old is he? 25?
26.
That's
26?
The patron saint of Cincinnati, Joseph Lee Burrow, just turned 26 years old on December 10th.
Yeah, comparing him to Brady, he's a guy you want on your team, obviously, and he's one of those guys who's like very consistent, in my opinion, where he can make all the throws, all that like jargon or whatever, but he's a guy that everybody loves playing with. So Joe Burrow will definitely win a Super Bowl, at least one, and mark it down.
Yes.
Hopefully a couple. I think he's that good. He'll probably win a couple.
Mike, you can come back anytime.
Like I said, I like the Bengals, and it's unfortunate that they're playing my team this week, and you guys are hot. How are you guys feeling about that? You in the beginning of the season, were you like, shit, this is like a Super Bowl hangover, or were you like, they'll just hang on, they'll make a run, they'll get there? Was there negativity around town?
Oh, there was definitely negativity around town, but me personally, I was kind of like wait and see, because I knew a lot of the pieces, hadn't worked or hadn't played together yet. So it was partially like, all right, we need to get in gear here a little bit. But at the same point, it was like, in some fairness, a lot of these guys haven't played that much together. So it's still kind of figuring that out.
I feel like there was more to Burrow's appendectomy recovery than we thought. That was.
Forgot about that.
I hadn't thought about it that much, and Mike, I don't know if you know this. They didn't tell us until the season was starting that his appendix had actually ruptured. Right. So we hear appendectomy, and you're like, oh, pretty standard procedure, and then you're like, oh crap, that can be really, really serious. So I feel like people were getting all hot and bothered the first 2 weeks in a not great way. And I don't know, the rest of us knew they'd settle down.
Yeah, if your appendix explodes and you miss the last couple weeks of camp or whatever he missed, that's a big deal. It makes sense they get off to a slow start, but from a fan, my confidence level as a Pats fan is not very high. I just think the Pats in general this year are they're so middle of the road. We were talking about this before. Sometimes when you have a team that's 500 or a couple games above, you're like, let me just get into the playoffs and they can do some damage. And their defense is good. Their just offense is, I just don't know what I'm looking at.
What do you feel like, what the linchpin is in that? Is it Mac Jones? Is it?
I don't know, because I don't know how good Mac Jones is. I don't think he's not Joe Burrow, obviously. He's not Tom Brady, but could he be good enough to lead a team to a Super Bowl? I don't know. Last year he was good. He was pretty good. But that was Josh McDaniels was the offensive coordinator. And even if you don't think he's a good head coach, he's a good offensive coordinator. So it's did he just regress? Is it because Matt Patricia and Joe Judge are calling the plays and their offense looks so vanilla? I don't. It's hard to tell if it's the coaching or the quarterback, and that's what I think what's so frustrating. Because you're like, oh, why is that guy doing that? Why is that guy doing? What is happening? And nobody knows the answer. Well, somebody knows the answer, but I don't.
So Dalton wants to know what you're most excited about seeing for tomorrow's game. Anything.
I think I'm gonna start drinking at halftime because Christmas Eve I do a little celebration with my family, so I'm gonna get a nice little buzz on. Yeah, they are very predictable offense, Matt. Just brutal. At least when back when if they don't have confidence in Mac Jones, I get it. But when they started their Super Bowl run way back, like when Tom Brady was 23, 24, they were obviously a defensive heavy team, but their offense was very creative. Even if he only threw for 150 yards, they're doing fake sweeps. They're doing all these motion plays. And it's I just feel like they're not trying anything. Anyway, pick 6 tomorrow. I mean, you'd have to throw an out route for that to happen. I don't even think they throw maybe that might happen. I think I'm excited. I think the game's going to be close in the first half, so I'm excited about that. I think if the Pats can run the ball and play good D, maybe 10-3 at halftime, but I don't know.
Okay. All right. What do you think about this? The over under on Jones?
Oh, I'll take the over, but not by much. 21, 22 times the game. They'll do that thing. I mean, they had success with it last year, but they were a better team last year. That game where they played against the Bills and they only threw the ball 3 times and they won. It was freezing cold. It was 0 degrees. So maybe there'll be something like that happens. But since he's got a good defense, right? I haven't seen them that much this year, but their defense is good, right?
That's
Our defense?
Yeah, your defense. So meaning if the Pats just run the ball, you're gonna
That's our. It's not even a secret.
We gotta let you know, Mike. Yes. Yes.
I know you're good. I was trying to go. Tell me how good they are.
This is a point of contention for me that I've bitched about 2 nights in a row on 2 different podcasts about how our defense doesn't get enough media attention.
Yeah, that's
Lou
true.
Anarumo is the best coordinator in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff he does, and don't get excited if at halftime you feel oh, we're in this, we're pretty evenly matched. Just kidding, because I don't know what he does in the locker room at halftime, what magical spell he casts, but they come out. The adjustments are
A
just
completely different team.
But we have to say that Anarumo, not very good. We don't look at him. Other teams, just let him stay right where he is. Not good, not effective. That's the public message. I'm so worried someone's going to take him away from us. I want good things for him, but I think I want good things for us more.
Well, did you see Lindsey Patterson's tweet the other day?
Mm-mm.
They was asking Anarumo about if he had any desires to be a head coach, and he said something along the lines of there's way too many problems, dealing with that. So you might just be happy being a defensive coordinator.
I will die so happy.
I'm clinging on to that for as long as I can.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Sorry.
But so what I'm most excited to see tomorrow is our O-line try and stop Judon and Uche. Combined, they've got, I think, 16 sacks. I'm looking at I was being a diligent student. And that's, I feel like our O-line is certainly much better than they were at the beginning of the season. Burrow's had a lot more time in the pocket, cleaner pockets. He's also just getting the ball out quicker too, which I think that's where some of the comparisons to Brady. I mean, Brady for 20 years has been able to get the ball out pretty quickly. So I want to see if they can stop this really good edge rush and see if we can not have to be so crafty, not have to wait for Anarumo to do his wizardry at halftime, but really shut those 2 guys down early.
That's what you should have said, Mike, when you were asked what you were excited to see tomorrow. It should have been those guys.
Well, when Bridget said that, I was like, oh, yeah. I'm actually looking forward to that. Well, I'm interested how you guys, what you're thinking about your team. Is there any there's no, it seems like just there's no worry from any of you guys.
That's not true. I get nervous before every game, especially this time of season.
That's true.
You're getting us, though, the evening after we just clinched a playoff berth. So
Right.
I think there's some level of, okay, we've made it. So it's not guaranteed. And right, we need who are the Ravens playing?
Falcons.
We need the Falcons to have their way with the Ravens with Lamar being out again. So I don't know. We're on a 6-game winning streak. It's pretty fun.
I
True.
get nervous because streaks that long are so hard to maintain.
You gotta
And
lose
then-
eventually. You gotta lose
Yeah.
eventually.
And then Mike, like where you might get a little lucky, Hayden Hurst has been officially ruled out, our tight end. Also Sam Hubbard, you dodged a Sam Hubbard bullet so hard. Like I am very curious to see what our defense looks like without him because he's integral, like to the entire structure of our D.
So I think no, go ahead. You can go ahead, Bridget.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. It's gonna look like Trey Hendrickson coming in with a straight like club arm
Yeah.
because his wrist is broken.
Yeah, but he's
He
been
said-
practicing without a club because he
Yeah, he said no
not-
club.
I
I
wonder
don't-
if they're gonna put it on him at the. Maybe they don't.
I don't know. It's just crazy. If you, so I want to take a second really quick, if it's okay, to everybody that's watching. So the time that I'm switching topics, this is back on Mike and what he does, but like I tweeted earlier today, the video I saw of yours, Mike, that made me first fall in love with your videos.
The Jamar Chase one?
Yes. I love
Yeah.
it so much.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. So tell me about like your process because I'm gonna play one of your videos here in a second. The one that you did for the Bengals versus Chiefs
Oh yeah.
AFC Championship game. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And I was nice that a lot of Bengals fans like that video, the Jamar Chase one. Yeah, I'm just trying to make fun or funny videos, and sometimes it'll just be off a play where a couple different things happen, and sometimes I'll try to do like a full game recap, like the Chiefs game. But yeah, I'll just try. I mean, on Twitter and stuff, there's a million people who like break down film in a serious fashion, and some of them are great, and some of them you're like, all right, do you really know that, or are you just like BSing me? So I try to just go at it in a different way, where it's like you can learn a bunch on Twitter, film breakdowns from a million places, not from me, but I'll try to like give you a play in like a more of an entertaining way. So that's what I'm going after, and it's fun. I think for the most part. I mean, sports, sometimes people are like, what are you, an idiot? Didn't you see this guy? I'm like, I don't know, dude. I'm just, So, but I try to just find plays that have a lot going on or are exciting. I think.
How did you not do the play that we were just talking about from last week, the lateral? Like
I did do it. See,
You did?
I'm being shadow banned, I think. No, I did that. I did that, and I did the Vikings one.
I'm looking it up after we log on.
I was like 2.5 minutes. I could have made it 10. I was like going through everything.
Oh
I did
my
it.
God.
I did it that night too. Usually I wait and I do it the next day. It was like midnight. I was like fucking writing shit. I was just like, but yeah, I think I do a Patriots video every now and then, but I try to find ones that are just exciting plays. And I think people might think I'm a Bills fan because I've done like 10 Josh Allen plays, but every week he's like helicoptering into the end zone. So I'm like, oh, this is a fun one to try to find the angle. If there's like a lot of movement, if there's a lot of things happening, then I think it's like a fun one to try.
I humbly request that you do more Bengals content.
Well,
Don't forget. If you need help, like knowing when a really awesome play,
yeah, please tag me. I don't.
Funny, I am 100% going to start tagging you in it.
You should, because I like when people's fan bases enjoy it. Like the Bengals video that you shared, like that was cool that everyone liked that. And then like Buffalo Bills fans usually like it. Sometimes you do a video and the fan base was like, what is this shit? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know. But I try to do like good plays versus like, oh, look at how bad this guy dropped the ball. So that's why last week hurt. I tried not to focus on like the actual lateral, but that was the whole play. So I don't know.
It's plays like Sewell from the Lions.
Yes, I should have did that actually. That was a perfect example of one.
Yes.
Where it's like a little out of the ordinary, but you can say what's happening, but put your 2 cents in and try to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, let's see this one. I want everybody to kind of watch this. This is Bengals versus Chiefs by the strange mind of Mike Camerlingo.
Oh yeah,
The beautiful mind.
No, you can say strange. It is strange. Like I don't know what's going on up there.
All right, here we go.
All right, here's a quick recap of the Bengals beating the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. So the Chiefs got the ball and marched down the field with Mahomes rolling. Sweet Freddie Durst, what an absolute piss missile. In the red zone again, and Mahomes is just playing backyard football here. And I mean the fun kind, like when you're a kid, not when you're 40 and you run a post pattern into your neighbor's swing set. The Chiefs go up 21-3, and things are looking dicey for Cincinnati. But Joey B is like, hold up, I did not roll in here looking like a 90s R&B legend just to get my dick kicked in on national TV. A 40-yard screen pass goes the distance, and suddenly it's 21-10. The Chiefs march back down the field, and they're going for the kill shot because they know field goals are for nerds who tuck their t-shirt into their underwear. But they get caught up in no man's land, and Eli Apple says, I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. And the momentum of the game totally shifts right here. And just look at this play by BJ Hill. A few plays later, Burrow throws a back shoulder fade to Jamar Chase, followed by a 2-point conversion, and I hope you didn't change the channel and you're watching Ozark now because this fucker is all tied up. Late in the fourth quarter, and the Chiefs are down by 3, but like a UPS guy who needs a signature for a crossbow, they are knocking at the door. Tony Romo is wondering if Cincinnati should just let him score, but the Bengals defense is like, hey Tony, no offense, but if we ever see your ass out on the street, it's knuckle sandwich time. A kick sends the game to OT, where the Chiefs win the toss, and everyone is like, oh, for fuck's sake, here we go again. But before anyone can send an email to their congressman asking for a rule change, Cincinnati's defense steps up yet again and says, hey, how about some teamwork, bitches? Together, everyone achieves more. Joe Mixon gets him into range, and Evan McPherson comes out with ice in his veins and drops the hammer, sending the Bengals to the Super Bowl. An incredible win by Cincinnati, and frankly, one we should have seen coming. I mean, just look at this legend.
That was a great game. I forgot about all that stuff.
That's like the holiday cheer we all needed.
Wow, that was
or
a great
Hula
game.
Day. Thank you, Bengals content team, for that.
Yeah, look at that legend, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, when a guy walks
That's
in like
coming to your town right now, Mike.
okay, when a guy walks in like that, you either have to play great or it's a big risk. It's a big risk. Like remember when the Texans all wore their varsity jackets? That was against the Patriots a long time, like 6-7 years ago. And they got off the bus and they were like wearing their varsity jackets and they got their dicks kicked in. If you want me to say it. They got killed. And everyone's like, dude, nice jackets, you idiots. It's like, so if you show up wearing all black because you're like, I'm here for the funeral, and then you lose, no. So Joe Burrow, he takes a risk looking like that, but he can back it up. So shout out to Joey B.
Shout out to Joey B. I like how you say Joe Burrow too. I'm catching that accent.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm saying the Bengals correctly. I'm in Massachusetts. There's a lot of weird things happening in my mouth. So I did a video on Kyler Murray, and everybody. I still don't know if everybody in Arizona was like, "Why are you saying Mary?" Like I'm like, well, I don't know, dude. This is just how I talk, and I don't know. So
don't change a thing, Mike.
Yeah, I can't. Even if I tried, I couldn't.
It's a fun accent.
Yeah, it's
So everybody that's in the chat, like if you're not following Mike, like I don't know what else to tell you. That was the perfect example of why you follow Mike Camerlingo on
Thank
Twitter.
you. That was the playoffs. So I'm excited to do some playoff ones too.
And maybe you should watch your own content, because did you not just see what our defense did to the Chiefs in that game? That's about to happen.
That's old news. Hey, I'm going to double down now. Pat's going to kick your asses.
Same guys, dude. BJ Hill is also going to be a beast in this game too.
You know what I've been doing? Being too friendly on this thing right here. I think
I know I'm trying to get you a fight.
I could talk myself up into being a close game. You know what it is? The Patriots have they beat bad teams, and then when they play good teams, it's like they're there with them, and then they just make too many mistakes. Like they're there with the Vikings. I don't know how good. I know the Vikings have a great record, but we're not really sure how good they are yet. But they were there. They threw all over them. Mac Jones had like 350 yards, but they had a punt block. They were offside. Like they just keep doing these things. Last week, Mac Jones did a quarterback sneak, but he didn't wait for his guy to get set up. They just keep making these mistakes that like a winning team can't make. So I think they'll keep it close for a while, and then they'll I don't know, do an out and up onto the sideline. And you'll be like, that's a Gatorade jug. Why are you over there? And then they'll just get their doors blown off. So 31's high. 20.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's call this game. Go ahead. You can go ahead and start. Actually, I'm not going to play the graphic because I didn't update it from. It still says Cleveland Browns on it, but
I think it's gonna be cold, maybe windy, tight at halftime, maybe 10-3 at halftime. I'll go 24-13 Cincinnati. I think that it will be close for a while. Fourth quarter, Pats will be there, and they just won't be able to make a play.
okay.
That's my optimistic take too. I think it's
Oh.
just. I think the Pats have a good defense, so I think they'll be able to hold Cincinnati in check for a while. It's just, will their offense be able to throw enough like screen passes to trick you guys or something? And I haven't been confident in that.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. I wanna mess with you so bad, Mike, but you're down so bad, dude. I can't.
No, I know. You know what? 31-10 Pats. Mac Jones revenge game. Jacoby Myers going deep. I'm switching it. I'm not sticking with this. What am I doing? Pats are going to return a punt for a touchdown. Belichick's going to do some weird reverse call. He's going to take over the offense. They're going to win 31-20, and it's going to be a Christmas
Tom Brady's
miracle.
going to come out of the tunnel.
I was going to say Drew Bledsoe
on Joe Burrow for last week. What we did to them there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be incredible if they were like, just kidding, we've signed him.
Yeah,
They
He
should do that
wants-
like a wrestling thing. They're like, all of a sudden someone's music comes on and they look to the tunnel
yeah.
and they're like, here he comes.
My God, that's Tom Brady.
I'd take it. Gladly beat Brady one more time.
It would be cool. Oh, wow. Look at you guys. All confident. All right. Let's make a deal. If the Pats somehow win, we'll all do like a FaceTime or something.
Okay.
On Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day.
I'm out.
27-10.
I don't think I could do it.
That's a pretty good
right,
score. Pork chop. 27-10. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
So here's the thing, though. Like, I'm not as confident as you think because Bill Belichick is still Bill Belichick. He's super pissed after what happened last week. Can you imagine how unfun that locker room was this past week?
Yeah, that's one where they like bury the football and do all that like weird shit.
Yeah. Like, I don't think his locker rooms are fun anyways on a normal, like, after a win. But after that, like, I bet he was awful.
They're still technically in the playoff hunt. Like, if they can win 2 out of 3, I think, but it's a tough game.
Yeah. What do you think, Tyler?
I'm kind of thinking the same thing that Mike is. I think it'll be close at halftime. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game because I am a big fan of the Patriots' defense. I'm obviously going Bengals win with this, and I'm kind of thinking 23-14.
Okay. I can see it. What about you, Bridge?
So I'm on Tyler's train, low scoring game. I was checking the weather and I accidentally looked at Boston, England, and that wasn't right. So then I went to Boston, Massachusetts. It looked like it was going to be 51 in Boston, England. So maybe we all need to go there. So low could be down to 12, but it's a 1 o'clock game. High's 21. It's still really cold. I feel like you can't catch as much when it's cold like that. I think I would predict something more similar to last week where it's not even necessarily close at half, but the Patriots are only going to have a good first half. So I'm going to go 2017 Bengals.
Okay. You know, Greg, first of all, Greg Luther, you changed last night. You were saying 2010. I just want to remind you that your prediction has
I think he heard what I was saying, like they're gonna do all this cool shit. And
Oh.
he's like, I think the Pats are gonna keep it close now. I like that team. I think you're right. I think maybe it is gonna be lower scoring than I'm talking about. I don't know. Maybe in the teens.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this is definitely going to be a tale of the defense for sure. The two defenses. I think Bengals win, but I do think it stays a pretty low scoring game. Dalton, to your point, run game is where it's at tomorrow, most likely. I'm going to take Greg Luther's prediction from yesterday and say 2010 Bengals. It's my story and I'm sticking to it.
We'll keep
All right,
the
wait.
receipts.
All right. I like everybody's predictions. I have a new prediction.
Oh,
I have a new series. All right. If the Patriots are going to win, it's going to be low scoring, run the ball, 20 to 13 or something like that. They can do it. They can do it. Do they believe me? Do I believe me? I don't know.
I think Pats lose. Mac Jones throws the towel in, says he's going to just go model for Kohl's or something, and that's the end.
he
That's my
looks like an
prediction.
Abercrombie and Fitch. When he
He was a kid model.
really?
I
There's
feel
some
like
funny
he
old
and,
pictures of him. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like he and Zach Wilson just like need to go model for JCPenney and like call it a day.
JC.
That's their vibe.
Honestly, I was thinking JCPenney before you said that. I was like JCPenney.
Yeah.
I think I just still don't know how good he is. I don't know if they think he's the guy going forward, if they just have to retool the offense, or if they just have to figure something else out. That's what's frustrating. You're like, is this guy good? Or I can't tell. Because he shows signs, but I know. I'm trying to hold out hope that maybe he is.
I think
And it's like maybe
going
they're
after a quarterback again, unfortunately.
well, it's like maybe they're calling these plays because they don't think he can do certain things, Pam, you're right. I am. The first play, the Pats will do something great, and I'll be like, they're winning this game. They are totally winning this game.
40-6. They've got it.
Blowout city. And then there'll be a pick, and I'll be like, why did I even watch this thing? Why am I even watching this? So we'll see.
Pam is my mom, by the way. That's who you're just talking
Oh, well, we're on the same page, Pam.
Mm-hmm. All right. So do you want to give us our other games that we have to predict, Tyler? Tell us what's
You just
up.
want me to roll all the other four off real quick, and then we'll just go from there.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So the other four games we got: Saints at Browns, Falcons at Ravens. Obviously, we always stick with the AFC North games, and then Eagles at Cowboys and Giants at Vikings.
Okay. Saints at Browns. You have to predict too, Mike. So
All right. I haven't looked into any of these games. Let me go last.
Me either.
I literally just put this right together before we got on, so
Yeah.
I think we're all on the same page here at least.
Yeah. Chicken blind.
This game's obviously going to be in Cleveland. It's going to be cold. I don't trust the NFC South teams at all. I barely trust the Buccaneers, and they're winning the division right now. So at home in Cleveland for $5 tickets, the fans get their money's worth. Browns take a win.
Okay. Bridget.
And the fans are all going to be drunk because those 20-ounce thermoses are just going to be filled with bourbon. No one's bringing anything else into that game. I'm going Browns. I feel like the Saints are their season's a wash. Is Dalton even still playing? I don't really care about the Saints. After Whit and I had our soiree in New Orleans, I stopped caring at all about what the Saints are doing, but I'm going Browns.
Yeah.
Browns handily, maybe. I don't even know if that's going to be close.
Yeah, I mean, I don't trust any of those teams. Like you said, Tyler, I also don't trust a dome team going into Cleveland in the winter to do something spectacular. Their defense is too good, so give me the Browns, unfortunately, in this one.
All right. I mean, I didn't have. I'll just take the Saints. I mean, you gotta have one person
There we
take the
go.
Saints. I have no faith in either of these teams, and I am always wary when a dome team is going to play in freezing cold weather. But both these teams are not very good. So why not? Why not us?
Why not us?
And then the us would be the Saints. The Saints would say that.
Who dat?
Who dat?
They can
Saints keep the NFC,
they can have our
South
old
interesting.
saying, our old quarterback. They can have all of our hand-me-downs.
I mean, I would love to see, especially if Dalton is still quarterbacking there, and I think he is, he's used to playing in the AFC North. The cold's not going to bother him. And how much would we love to see Andy Dalton take down Deshaun Watson?
I'd love it.
I love everything about that.
How do you guys feel about Andy Dalton? Do you guys do you look on the time you had together fondly?
Mm-hmm. He's a swell guy. We all love him and think fondly of him, but we're also glad that era is over, I think.
Yeah.
You guys?
I think he's a fine human person.
Yeah.
So, Mike, I moved to Cincinnati 10 years ago. Like, I wasn't a big NFL fan at all. Like, I was aware I'm from Michigan, so I would root for the Lions. And so you can imagine I was like, came to Cincinnati pretty wounded as an NFL fan. And like, Dalton's fine. I just, like, 2015 was the year I really got into it, and we all know how that went. So, like, I'm like, great, Andy, thanks for what you did, and enjoy Dallas and Chicago and New Orleans and all the other places. Just come by and say hi when you swing through.
Yeah, I like from afar. I always thought Andy Dalton was pretty good, but I always remember when he tore his ACL, right?
He broke his thumb,
Oh, really?
or tore a ligament in his thumb, I think it was.
Oh, well, whatever. He
So
was always
close,
one of the.
Mike, so close.
He was same body. I mean, same. It's all attached. The leg bones attached to the thigh bone, all that stuff. You know. Yeah, Dalton. Legend of Dalton.
Put up Greg's comment. I feel like Greg's comment about Dalton is so perfect.
Dalton's like a grilled cheese sandwich, not the best thing, but not the worst thing in the world.
Sometimes it hits the spot.
It really
He
does.
said no. Just no to the whole everything you just said, Mike. No.
All right, what do we got next?
Another rousing NFC South team, the Atlanta Falcons, traveling to Baltimore without Lamar Jackson,
Okay.
which I know what I'm hoping for. But again, it's an NFC South team traveling to an AFC North team. Even without Lamar Jackson, I still trust the Ravens in this one. Praying I'm wrong, but I'm going Ravens.
Yeah, not knowing much about. I mean, I've seen a little bit of the Falcons this year, but and I know Lamar Jackson's not playing, but I don't really see them going into Baltimore, and what I'm guessing is cold weather, in winning. So I mean, it could happen, but my pick would be the Ravens. So unfortunately for you guys.
Okay.
But-
Great. Just kidding. I'm gonna predict a spoiler here, and I'm gonna go with the Falcons. And it's just simply because, yeah, Lamar's not playing. That's a big part of it, but also I just think they're on a decline. Like, there's something wrong with that team. Like, they looked like ass last week. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
I don't trust them.
They haven't looked great over like the last month. They've been
No.
struggling against bad teams, and that's even with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. So even though like conventional wisdom says that the Ravens win, and I wouldn't be surprised if they win, and they should win for sure. I'm going on a limb and just saying Falcons right now. I'm with Lisa.
I'm going Falcons too. This is the one game I want to pick with my heart, not my head. So Falcons it is.
Yeah, go Ritter. Ritter's gonna do the city of Cincinnati a solid because he's a bro like that. He's a bro. All right, what do we got next?
Next game up is Giants at Vikings.
Ooh, okay. What you got, Bridget?
I'm going Vikings.
Yeah.
I don't think the Giants are a threat to them, so we'll go Vikings.
I agree. I'm just gonna keep it really simple. Vikings for sure.
I'll take the Giants. Probably a stupid bet, but well, the Vikings they had that huge comeback win. They're like, nobody can touch us. It doesn't matter how many points we go down, and the Giants are just going to play a little pitch and catch, and maybe squeak one out. Classic NFC game. 13-10, boring as hell.
Right.
And, Danny Dimes is gonna do something cool, like hand the ball off or something. Hey, he can actually he's gonna make a play. No, he's gonna make a play with his legs. He's gonna do a little rollout. He's gonna do something. I think the Vikings are good, but they can be. I mean, the Pats went toe to toe with them, and the Vikings, you can throw on them all day. So I don't know. Again, I haven't really seen the Giants, so I don't know if they throw the ball. But I think that they can beat them. They have 8 wins. They can do it.
They can.
anything's possible.
Vikings has had some weird moments this season too. What do you think, Tyler? Though
It's the Giants are very tempting for me just based on like what the Vikings did last week. Obviously, they're coming off a huge emotional win like that, so I tend to go with a little bit of a letdown after games like that. Maybe they'll get crazy and try to come back, from 40 points this week. Who knows? I'm still going to go Vikings in this one. I like Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson too much to pick against them in this one.
I agree.
I just don't trust the Giants at all. So,
all right,
yeah, I'm going with Vikings.
Mike is Lone Ranger on that.
I do like the Vikings. I like Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson as well. But I don't know. Maybe I feel like they can be had. They can be the Giants. If the Giants need this win, they need to win. So that doesn't always mean they're gonna win. Everyone wants to win. So we'll see. This is another game where if the Vikings get up like 14-0, I'm like, what are you thinking, Mike? The Giants? So we'll see.
Every team wants to win until they throw a lateral and don't go into overtime.
Too soon, Bridget.
It's
too soon.
Through the game.
Just take a knee. Why are they take a knee, guys?
Someone investigate that dude.
Oh, all right. If you want me to be
sports betting,
if you want me to be a salty Pats fan, you're right. I have been being too nice. The guy in the play before that touchdown on the Raiders, the guy was clearly out of bounds. But whatever. We don't have to talk about that.
Clearly, right. All right. What's the last game we're doing?
This is probably the best matchup on this board. We got Eagles at Cowboys, which Eagles are without Jalen Hurts, I believe, and Gardner Minshew is starting.
Love Gardner Minshew. I love him.
How can you not like that guy?
I love everything about him too. I
want
him to be a backup quarterback just for funsies, just so I can get a Gardner Minshew t-shirt.
I like that. We might need to work on that in the offseason.
This is the game where you're like, oh no, the Eagles don't have Hurts and they're in Dallas, right? I think they're in Dallas.
Yeah.
In Dallas.
But I don't know, man. The Eagles are really good. I still think Minshew mania, whatever they want to call it. I like the Eagles. Eagles have nothing left to play for. Interesting. See, I can be swayed. Greg, tell me more. What's their record? I feel like they're trying to. Do they have that 1 seed secured up?
I don't think they have it yet.
I think the Eagles are going to win. I think they're going to have some creative shit for Gardner, and Cowboys are good, but I don't know. Those teams always play tight.
I don't think they have the 1 seed locked up yet because I think the Cowboys can still catch them. I think they're like a game or two back.
What about 49ers? Aren't they still in for that?
They should be. Yeah, because they're the 2 seed right now.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna get a Brock Purdy jersey. How about that?
I mean, I love the name. So I would do it just for that.
You have to be a quarterback if you have that name. They're just like, you're a quarterback, dude.
Also,
or a kicker.
Yeah.
Probably showed up to tryouts. Like, I want to play linebacker. No kid. You're quarterback.
But seriously, have you guys ever met another Gardner?
I don't think it's a first name. No.
I don't know, I just think it's weird. But anyway, what do you think, Bridget, about this game?
I don't know why I'm feeling the Cowboys. Like, I still think absent Hurts, the Eagles are likely the better team and probably will win. But for some reason, I am just feeling Cowboys. That sounded weird. I'm going to just pick the Cowboys to win.
I wasn't going to judge you.
I just played it back, didn't like it. The Cowboys shall win this football match.
All right. What say you, Tyler?
The NFC East teams, I just hate picking them because I never get a good feel for them. On one hand, I don't trust the Cowboys. On the other hand, I keep waiting for the Eagles to fall back down to reality a little bit, so I'm not quite buying their hype yet. I can't pick against Gardner.
Yes.
Minshew's my dude. I'm going Eagles in this one. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Minshew mania, baby.
I have also caught Minshew mania. And so between that, and I just think the Eagles are one of the most complete teams in the NFL right now this season. And on top of that, the Cowboys are choke artists. Like, they just love to choke in big moments. I think the higher the stakes, like the more times that they're going to do something weird. I also am not a Mike McCarthy fan. I think he is one of the most overrated coaches in the NFL. I said it. I don't care. I mean it.
Clip it.
Yeah. So whatever. Yeah, sure. You like to get me in trouble. Clip things that get my mouth gets in trouble. But yeah, I'm going to take the Eagles in this one. But I think it should be a really good game, and I'm actually looking forward to watching it. For sure. Meg's going Cowboys. Whatever, Meg. That's fine. All
At
right.
least Bridget's not feeling Cowboys alone.
Huh?
I'm glad Meg and I are
Yeah.
in that weird space together.
You're united, that's for sure. All right. So did you guys want to see Matt's video for this week? Matt did something
No, I don't want to.
well then
I'll step away.
Step away for a second.
In my head, I was like, his name is Mike. Like, we have him on.
Yeah. I'm like,
Matt.
come on. I said one nice thing about the Patriots, and you're trying to kick me off.
I
So
know.
against Matt.
So
Just
typically
completely blank on names.
Matt is like our bartender. He does a signature cocktail, creates a signature cocktail every week for every game. They're always themed. It's pretty bomb. But this week he's doing something a little different. So let's check it out.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special Christmas edition of Game Day Cocktails. I'm your host, Matt, aka Bengals of Bourbon. And for our drink for this week, we're going to have a little hot chocolate and Kahlua. Okay, it's a little cold out there. I hope you all are bundling up and staying warm. But we're going to have, this week we got the Patriots. And on this Christmas edition, I got a little night before Christmas story to read you. Which was the night before Christmas, and all through the house, every TV was muted to silence Romo's big mouth. But despite his best efforts and his bias-fueled mumbles, the Bengals roared back to bring home the dub to the jungle. Throughout Raymond James, there arose such a clatter. The Bucs fans jumped ship to see what was the matter. On Burrow, on Boyd, on Chase, on Higgins, on Wilcox, on Flowers, on Apple and Mixon. But how could this happen? They're just fairly okay. Through 4 turnovers later, their defense did slay. We're tough as nails, Pratt did exclaim. Maybe now, old man, you'll remember our names. Tom and Tony were stunned, heads hung in despair. Tom ran out of the stadium to get out of there. Has the torch just been passed? Asked all the man and the ladies. Burrow just grinned, as if to say maybe. You may score points early, but Coach Lou is a menace. You'll see it's not just how you start, it's all about how you finish. Bengals Nation slept soundly, and Joe Burrow we trust. And don't ever forget, they gotta play us! Merry Christmas, everybody. Tastes like winning.
He scared the shit out of his dog.
I was gonna say his dog was so well behaved the whole time, and then at the end, he's like, "Oh."
That was kind of my favorite part. So, Mike, I don't know if you know, Whitney composed that like in a matter of like an hour. And it was off a really shitty tweet of mine where I was like, "'Twas the night before Christmas," and all through that. And I was like, can't rhyme anything with house. Sorry, I'm done. Go Bengals. And then she comes out with like literary genius.
That's amazing.
I'm a literary genius, Mike. Now you know. No, I'm not. But that was fun, and that's hilarious. He was wearing his lucky pink robe the whole thing. It was a vibe. Thanks, Matt. I loved it. I loved everything about it. It took it to the next level, for sure, with the dramatic reading. So
I really
I love the
enjoyed
fire.
that.
Yeah, the fire on the TV was a nice touch. I like that.
I know, right? All right. Should we see what Meg's got in store for us then?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Love you, Meg. I know she's in here still. She always manages to get me so fired up, and especially when she starts talking some smack.
I liked that Win was sort of like getting a raven by its neck. It's a little graphic, but that's where I went. That's where I went.
Matt, yes, your dog is a saint. That's for sure. All right, guys, what else do you have?
All right. So I know I gave you a lot of different scores for the Pats game.
Yeah, you did.
I'll just say this. The Bengals they'll probably win, but let me just say this. Every time the Pats, as a Pats fan this year, every time you think one way about them, so like if you're like, oh, they won a game, they're starting to figure it out, they're good, then they get their ass kicked. If you're like, they suck, then they win. So right now you're like, they suck. So I'm picking close game, Pats, Nick Folk, field goal, 16-13. I'm gonna get hammered at Christmas Eve. It's gonna be great.
Is that your final answer, though?
That's my final answer. And you know what? Like sometimes you go with your heart. Sometimes you go with your heart.
I just.
And also, sorry to cut you off. I haven't really seen the Bengals play this year, so you know.
Well, you've missed out on a treat.
Well, I'll see him in the playoffs.
You've missed a lot of really good football.
I hope you live tweet your score prediction like after every.
I can't even remember
play.
which ones. I don't know. I've said
No,
5
just
of
whatever you're feeling. Whatever you're feeling. Like, oh, now I think it's gonna be 40-6. Just kidding. The Pats are gonna lose 27 to. Just.
I'll do that.
I love this.
On one play, they'll hand it off. I'll go yes, and then the guy will get tackled. No, and then he'll break it. Oh yes, like I just edge of my seat kind of guy.
All I hope for, besides a Bengals win, is that there is a play worthy of a Camerlingo breakdown.
Yeah, we'll see.
Really good, entertaining play.
Yeah,
like maybe like Mac Jones gets like depantsed.
There'll be some kind of hijinks because any kind of cold game, there's always like a fumble. Someone's has a jacket that's like up to here. There'll be something.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I need. All right. Before we go, Mike, would you let everybody know like where to find you and all that good stuff?
Tomorrow night I'll be at my parents' house. No, you can on Twitter.
I'll be there too.
We are not liable for any stalkers.
Did I say parents? I meant M Camerlingo on Twitter. Yeah, you have it up there. Instagram is at 60 Second Classics. Or you can go to my website if you want. I put every video I make goes up there. It's 60secondclassics.com. Perfect. Sometimes people will be like, "Hey, did you do this?" And I'll be like, "Yes, I've done way too many of these." And I try to put them all up there. So it's a great place to go waste like an hour or two of your life.
Absolutely.
So there's some sports, and then there's also, like you said, Saved by the Bell and like Boy Meets World breakdown stuff where you'd watch and go, "Why did you do this?" And I'm like, I really don't know.
I meant to ask you, how was it? I was going through your Instagram a little bit today, and I saw that you had some airtime with Kyle Brands. What?
Yeah, he was. I have like the on again, off again podcast. I do it like twice. I'm the Patriots. I do it twice, and then I just give up. But yeah, he came on I think over the summer, and we talked about football and his kind of career. He's had such an interesting career, so yeah, I was very interested in his background and all that stuff. It was a lot of fun.
I was a big fan of his. I don't know if I had shared this one. I feel like I first started watching Good Morning Football last season, and I was like, who is this dude? He looks so familiar. Yep. And then I was like, it was Real World, because that was like his season was when I was like in it. So I love that Real World. I feel like Karamo and Kyle Brandt have really strong Real World.
That's what I was when I was talking to him. I was like, I feel like I've known you. Like even when you came on, I'm like, I know this guy, and I'm like, it has to be from the Real World because I used to watch all the time, obviously. So yeah, man, he really transitioned to a really cool career.
Yeah,
he does great.
Yeah, his
Good Morning Football is awesome.
Good Morning Football is my favorite NFL show.
Yeah,
by a mile. Everybody knows this about me. It's in my Twitter bio, I think, spouting love for them. But his Angry Run segment is iconic.
Yeah.
It's really cool too that he's like at a place where people will just like send him all these runs and stuff. It's awesome. It's like, yeah, he really built that in a cool way.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm always like, when he's doing it, I'm like, aren't you out of breath? Like he just goes. I would be dry heaving. He's in much better shape than me. So
I would need an oxygen tank strapped to my back.
His Don't Fear the Reaper, but like I still every couple months will just go like search it and watch it. I loved that.
I'm gonna start like all three of us. What's gonna happen though, Mike, is we're gonna start sending you like Camerlingo worthy plays. So
I want you to, because I don't, I'm just watching the Pats hand the ball off, so I need somebody to send me the good stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I won't just send you Bengals stuff because the fact that you didn't do Sewell's
I know. Well,
is kind of freaking me out a little bit.
You know what happened is I it was like a day went by, and then on like day 2, I was like, oh, I should do this, and then I was like, oh, I'm too late, and that was stupid. I should have just did it anyway. Like, first of all, who cares? And then I'm like, oh, I'm too late for that. So let me spend time like breaking down Jean-Claude Van Damme like fighting someone from a 1988 movie. It's like, what are your priorities, Mike? There's no rhyme or reason to it. That's what I'm telling you. There's no rhyme or reason.
Get it together. Anyway, thanks so much for hanging out with us, though, for real.
Thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. I wish we could have fought more.
You should have told me ahead of time. I would have been an obnoxious Pats fan. I could turn it on.
I tried to like wave the red flag in front of you a little bit.
Beforehand we were talking, you're like, wow, you're really like a broken man, aren't you? I'm not. It's fine. It's not like they're like 1-12. It's like it's frustrating to watch a team when you're like, you just do but that's where they are. They're just middle of the pack.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Hey, listen,
whatever.
You had so many dynasty years. I don't want to even hear
I'm not
it.
complaining.
Exactly.
I know. I can't say shit. I'm not complaining. And I like the Bengals. If I was rooting for them last year, so hopefully they have a nice run in them this year.
Thank you.
It'll be good. The AFC, I mean, between them, the Chiefs, the Bills, I mean, the playoffs will be good.
Can I trick you into saying Who Day before we go?
How do I say it? Do I go Who Day?
Yes.
Did I say it okay?
It's perfect.
All right, nice.
There's so many different ways
I'm
to
tweeting
say
that
it.
to Bill Belichick.
I'll say I was forced at gunpoint.
All right, guys. Tyler, you guys, Bridget, have anything else before we go, or should we just wrap it
I
up?
am just ready for that game tomorrow. Grateful it's at 1, so let's hopefully celebrate a win into the evening. But let's keep the streak alive. Let's go to 7.
Why not?
Lucky number 7.
Works for me. Very
All right,
clinch.
if the Pats win though, you guys are getting DM'd obnoxious drunk radio.
I hope so.
And then if the Bengals kick the shit out of the Pats, I'll just go, I predicted that on the show. I don't know what you're talking about. I called
Basically, any outcome you
that. Yeah,
can
exactly.
say you called.
Cover all the bases. Exactly.
You have like 8 predictions. I think I lost count.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Tyler, you got anything else? Or we just want to say Merry Christmas and get out of here and get ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we're good. Ready for the game tomorrow. Mike, thanks again for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
us, especially Friday night here on a holiday weekend. I know this is kind of impromptu within the last 24 hours, but much appreciated. Loved having you come on, and happy holidays, everyone.
Yeah, you too.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Clinchmas.
Merry Clinchmas.